How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good on a Sunday night, getting ready for work on Monday morning. I cut some carbon fiber and it got me. So bear with me as far as my sinuses. So I said we were going to do an MGM video. I'm going to do one now. So hang with me till after the intro and we'll get started on it. Thanks, guys.
Let's get started.
MGM 463 ESC. The data port right there on the, we're looking at the side of it. If you're looking at the front of it, it's to the left. That is what we have to plug in. And we are plugging in the USB COM5 communication module. This is the communication module. Okay, once you're plugged in, you need to hook the batteries up. You don't have to have your radio or anything. You can actually use, I'm using two 4S batteries for this video. The controller is set to 12S, but it only has to have, I believe, 4S to come on. So we're gonna hook the batteries up and it'll connect, and then we'll check the program out. So this is the home screen on my computer. You go down to controller 2 V3. It's gonna ask you if you want this program to alter, and you say yes. Then the program opens, and you've got device settings, device monitoring, device history, device events, and device system functions. It's not connected, as you can see here, so we're going to connect it again. And here in just a second, it'll connect. There it goes. We got 3 greens. So let's check history. And you got to go up here to read. And this is going to read the last session that you had before you turned off the controller. You can set how it records, how long it records. And it usually takes a little bit for it to load. I think it's going to be about 10 minutes and 30 seconds worth of data it's recording right now, or updating, reading. So it takes about, I'm going to say about 4 minutes for 10 minutes worth of stuff. So it's going to read it, and then once it reads it, we'll look at it. While this finished loading, I love MGM products, their support. Some years ago, I was getting into top speed Baja, and I had a Castle ESC, and I got to looking around, and I stumbled upon MGM and LMT stuff, and it was just incredible. I mean, Germans know what they're doing. So I got a 463 some years ago, and I put it on a Baja with a LMT 3080 like I got now, and I top speeded it some for a little while, and then I kind of quit, and I'm actually about to start it back up, but these ESCs are just another level. I would like to try one, compare one to a cheaper ESC. I might buy a Hobbywing 12S Max 5, and we'll compare them, put one on a Baja and see how it does, compared, both on 12S. That'd be fun to do, so that's maybe something we'll look forward to doing. This should be about loaded, so let's look at the data. In my previous top speed endeavors, while we wait on this to load, I made it to 106 miles an hour, and there's some YouTube videos of it, running it down the freeway and stuff. There's an organization called ROSA in Australia and the UK, ROSSA, Radio Operated Scale Speed Association. They've got some cool stuff, and they actually have records. I think they do some U.S. events, so that'll be cool. It should be about done, so we're going to look at the data and see how it does when it finally loads. My computer screen timed out for just a second. We're back. I'm not going to speed the video up because I want you to see exactly how long it takes to read the data. 10 minutes and 30 seconds of data is a bunch when you got 23 different parameters. So, and if you haven't had a chance to like or subscribe my channel, please do that. It really helps the channel out. And, I'm growing, I'm new. I hope y'all like my videos. I like making them. It motivates me to work on my Baja more. And, give me a like and subscribe to me. I really appreciate it. Okay, so it's about to finish loading, and it just finished. And we're going to check out the data. First, we're going to look at the different parameters that it logs. I clicked on the wrong button here twice trying to get to the list. So when it comes up, I will start reading them off, and I'll also read how they record, or what they log in. The first one is time, and it logs in seconds. The second one's input voltage, and it logs in voltage. Input currents, amps. Peak currents, amps. Internal battery voltage is volts. Internal main bus voltage is volts. BEC voltage is volts. BEC current is amps. BEC temperature is measured in Celsius. Motor speed times 100 RPM. Speed of the system times 100 RPM. Input command is a percentage. The supplied power percentage is a percentage. Input power of the controller is watts. Car speed is kilometers per hour. Controller temperature is Celsius. Motor temperature is Celsius. Battery temperature is Celsius. Peak currents, amps. Remaining battery capacity is percentage. So we have went into the data, and we have went to the highest peak, and we have zoomed in. And this is what we're looking at. And what we're going to do again is we're going to zoom in again. And I'm turning off some other stuff because that will affect your graph because it doesn't look right. And I believe I get it all turned off down to the motor RPM, which is the green line. And it's just flat. And I thought, well, something's wrong. So I zoom out, and okay, there it is. So I'm going to zoom in on the highest peak here. And this is pulling up to 80 miles an hour. And there it is. And I'm going to zoom in on it again just to kind of, I think, well, I'm looking at, that's peak current, pink. I'm clicking on some stuff, so. Oh, here we're going to zoom in on it again, like I thought, and we're really going to be able to see what the motor did. There it is. And I'm going to click through some stuff. Red is input percentage requested. White is power of the controller. All the colors are something different. And basically that graph, that was the wattage, the blue. That graph is, when you see the red, it's only wide open for a second. So you can really get a lot of information from this. I mean, it basically tell you whatever. You can set up the tire diameter and the internal, gear ratio of the transmission and all that, and it'll tell you how fast it goes. There's a lot there. So when you get done, you clear it so you don't have anything else to look at, and then we go to settings, and you got basic settings and you got advanced settings. So we're going to click on advanced settings, and there's a warning here saying that you can pretty much mess this thing up and you better know what you're doing. And we do, so we click OK. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to read off these different settings. There's memory bank, which is choice of memory. You choose number 1 for car, 2 for boat, 3 for aircraft, and 4 for helicopter. That's P1. P3 is model type, which would have, car, boat, helicopter, whatever. P2 is direction, one way or bi-directional. P69 is control mode, which is only for helicopters. You got P45, which is empty battery behavior, and there's some settings there. P77 is empty battery and advanced warning by voltage. 87 is an empty battery. P19 is a maximal current allowed in a percentage. So if you want to tame it down, you can. Maximum current backwards is P20. P47 is number of poles in the motor. P51 is motor PWM frequency. You can automatically have it auto set, or you can set it between 8 kilohertz and 32 kilohertz. P16 is acceleration, which you can set how fast it accelerates and the amount of acceleration. And then P17 is acceleration from a stop, which is the same thing. And you can actually use P16 as like a second gear. You can actually set the acceleration rate faster than the first one. So you can come out, and then once you're moving, you can give it more. P18's deceleration, P22's brake intensity, P23's brake intensity in neutral in the stop position. P25 is full brake apply time, as in a ramp. P31's motor temperature limit, P32's battery temperature limit, P37's calibration of motor temperature sensor, P36 is calibration of battery temperature sensor. P13 is throttle limit range in a percentage, and P79 is signal BL, which is brake lights flash or always on or blinking, that kind of thing. So there is a ton here especially if you start looking at it and how it works, and it's crazy, really. The control you have, it's really awesome. I won't keep clicking through these settings, and you can check them out, even though I read the list off. I just don't think that there's anything that even comes close to this. This is a computer that runs an RC car, basically. It's way more than an ESC. And, the price reflects that. I mean, these things are expensive. I need to really quick look up and see how much they're going for right now, just so I can give you some ideas of what they cost. But I have a 463, which is a 400 amp ESC. I want an 863, which obviously is an 800 amp ESC. The newest is a 500 and 1,000 amp, where the old was 400 and 800. I'm not sure what the new X3 1000, 1030, I think is the part number. It's a 1,000 amp ESC, and it's incredible. I'd be happy with an 863 right now, for a little while anyway. So we're almost done clicking through the settings. We'll be done here in just a minute. I'm going to put up a picture of the newest 1000 continuous current amp ESC, which has a maximum phase current of 1400 amps. That is the newest 1063 X3 series ESC from MGM. And I'll put a picture of it up here in just a second. So when you're done, you just close everything out on the program and turn off your ESC, and you'll see all the green lights go to green and to red, and you're disconnected. There'll be a note pop up on the screen. There it is. And now you disconnect the controller. Before I show you the 1063, I probably only read off half the settings. When I was reading off the list of settings, I forgot that my manual's printed on the front and back sides of the paper. So when I read the P's off, I got the papers that had the settings on it, and I only read the first side of the paper. I didn't read the back. So there are quite a bit more throttle settings, feeding settings, just all kinds of stuff. You can look the manual up online, MGM, Compro, or MGM controllers. So just wanted to let y'all know there's a lot more settings than what I read off. So check out this 1063. Here's the new 1063 X3, which is 1000 continuous amps of current. So that's $2,531.78 by the current exchange. So that's starting $2,531.78 for a 1000 amp ESC. So look at this real quick. Useful tips. Battery settings, ESC transmitter pairing, connecting MGM ESC to LMT motor. It's kind of like a little cheat sheet that they didn't used to do, and now they do, and that's pretty nice. You can also print off a manual off their website. And the manual covers all kinds of just everything, diagrams and how everything works, and just a lot of information that take you a minute to understand. I think that's about it on the MGM ESCs. They all basically use the same software and operate the same, depending on regardless of the amp rating and how big the ESC is. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Give me a like or subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps me grow, and I know I want to keep making these videos. So I will see y'all next time. Thank you.